It started as just another family trip, or at least that's what everyone thought. The kind of trip wealthy families take when they want to experience culture for a week and then go back to their lives unchanged. Her name was Amanda, 19, confident, used to getting her ways, and raised in a world where convenience wasn't a luxury, it was a given. Her father, Mr. Carter, was a self-made businessman. He had built everything from nothing, or so he liked to say. But somewhere along the way, as the money grew, the lessons got lost. Amanda had never really heard the word no and meant it. Not from her father, not from anyone. So when he suggested they visit the Philippines, she rolled her eyes. "Why there?" she asked, barely looking up from her phone. "There are way better places." Her father didn't argue. He just said, "Trust me." And that was how it began. The heat hit them the moment they stepped out of the airport. Not the kind of heat you escape with sunglasses and a drink in your hand, but something heavier, something that wrapped around you and stayed. Amanda immediately complained, "Oh my God, it's so hot. Why is it this hot?" Her father smiled faintly, as if he expected it. Their driver greeted them warmly, smiling like he had known them for years. Amanda barely acknowledged him. She was too busy adjusting her outfit, checking her reflection on her phone. As they drove through the city, she noticed things she wasn't used to seeing. Jeepneys filled with people, colorful but worn. Street vendors selling food on the roadside. Children playing barefoot, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. She frowned. "Dad, is this safe?" Her father didn't answer immediately. He just looked out the window. "It's real," he said. Their hotel was luxurious, the kind Amanda approved of. Infinity pool, perfect lighting, soft beds. Finally, something familiar. She relaxed a little, took photos, posted stories. "This place is actually decent," she admitted. But her father didn't bring her there just for comfort. The next morning, he told her they were going somewhere else. "Where?" she asked. "You'll see." She didn't like that answer. They drove for hours, leaving the polished city behind. The roads became narrower, the buildings simpler, the air quieter. Eventually, they arrived at a small coastal village. Amanda stepped out reluctantly, looking around like she had landed on another planet. "This is where we're going?" she asked, disbelief written all over her face. Her father nodded. A group of locals welcomed them with smiles that didn't feel forced. There was no performance, no expectation, just genuine warmth. A woman offered Amanda a fresh coconut. Amanda hesitated. "It's safe," her father said softly. She took a sip. It was different. Not bottled, not branded, just fresh, real. She didn't say it out loud, but something shifted just slightly. They stayed in a modest home, no air conditioning, no marble floors, just wooden walls, a simple bed, and a small fan that made more noise than breeze. That night, Amanda couldn't sleep. "This is ridiculous," she whispered. "How do people live like this?" Her father, lying on the other side of the room, responded quietly, "They don't just live, they live fully." She didn't understand what he meant. The next day, everything began to change. She met a girl named Lila, about her age, maybe younger. Lila had bright eyes and an easy smile, the kind that made you feel welcome instantly. Lila didn't have much. You could tell from her clothes, from her home, from everything around her. But she carried herself with a kind of confidence Amanda had never seen before. They spent the day together. Lila showed her the village, the small school, the beach where kids gathered every evening, the little store that sold everything, from snacks to soap. At first, Amanda kept her distance. She observed more than she engaged. But Lila didn't push. She just included her. They laughed at small things, shared stories, even though their worlds were completely different. At one point, Amanda asked, "Don't you wish you had more?" Lila thought for a moment. "More of what?" she asked. Amanda was caught off guard. "I don't know, like a better house, more money, nicer things." Lila smiled, not in a mocking way, but in a way that felt honest. "Of course, but I'm happy with what I have too." That answer stayed with Amanda longer than she expected. That evening, they sat by the shore. The sun was setting, painting the sky in colors Amanda had only seen through filters before. Kids were running around, laughing. Families were talking. Someone was playing music in the distance. Amanda looked around. No one seemed rushed. No one seemed stressed. "Why does everyone look so happy?" she asked. Lila shrugged. "Because we are." It didn't make sense to Amanda. Not yet. Over the next few days, she began to notice more. How people shared what little they had. How neighbors helped each other without expecting anything in return. How laughter came easily, even in the simplest moments. She started to compare it quietly to her own life. The expensive dinners that felt empty. The friends who were always competing. The constant need to impress, to maintain an image. Here, none of that existed. One afternoon, Amanda saw something that changed everything. A young boy dropped his food. It wasn't much, just a small portion, but you could tell it mattered. He looked down, disappointed. Before he could even react, another child came over and split their own food with him. No hesitation, no discussion, just kindness. Amanda felt something tighten in her chest. That night, she couldn't stop thinking about it. "Dad," she said quietly, "why didn't you bring me here before?" Her father looked at her, surprised. "I tried to teach you," he said, "but some things you have to see for yourself." Days passed, and Amanda changed in ways she didn't expect. She stopped complaining about the heat. She stopped checking her phone every minute. She started helping, small things at first. Carrying water, helping prepare meals, playing with the kids. She laughed more. Real laughter. Not the kind she used for social media. And for the first time in a long time, she felt present. On their last day, the village gathered to say goodbye. There was no grand ceremony, no speeches, just hugs, smiles, and quiet gratitude. Lila handed Amanda a small bracelet, handmade, simple. "It's not much," Lila said. Amanda shook her head, her eyes filling with tears. "It's everything." When they got back to the city, everything felt different. The hotel that once impressed her now felt excessive. The things she used to value suddenly seemed small. On the flight home, Amanda sat quietly, looking out the window. Her father watched her, unsure of what she was thinking. Finally, she spoke. "Dad, I think I understand now." He didn't interrupt. "I had everything," she continued, "but I didn't have anything that mattered." Her father didn't say anything for a moment. Then he nodded. That was all he needed to hear. Back home, Amanda's life didn't go back to normal, because she wasn't the same. She started making changes. Not dramatic ones at first, but meaningful ones. She became more aware, more grateful. She stayed in touch with Lila, sent support when she could, but more importantly, she listened, she learned, and slowly she began to rebuild her life with a different perspective. Months later, at a family dinner, someone asked her about the trip. "So, was it worth it?" they asked casually. Amanda smiled. It changed my life. Her father sat quietly across the table, watching her, speechless, not because he didn't have words, but because, for the first time, he didn't need them.